Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. Whether you want to be sexually liberal or conservative with your child, key is communicating your values while taking your child into consideration, of course. Well, one way to make this potentially difficult goal more doable is to offer sample dialogues. I'm going to offer a few here. The first one is early on in a child's life. The child might ask, "How come I couldn't see the stork bring my brother?" Parent says, "You know, you're getting older now. So you want to hear something that big kids get to hear?" "Yes!" Well, when grown-ups talk about the stork, that's really just a short way of saying how a baby actually gets here. You want to hear how a baby actually gets here? "By car? You brought my brother home in the car." Well, there are a few steps before that. When a man and a woman decide they want to have a baby, they lie close together in bed. So close that a man then puts his penis, that's the part that you pee from, into the woman's vagina. That's the area in a woman. It's around the same place where you pee. And the penis releases a liquid into the vagina, and sometimes that makes a baby that comes out of the vagina 9 months later. I know that's a lot to take in, but I wanted to tell you all that. You want to ask me any questions about it? No. Well, if you have any questions, you can always come to me. Or here's a picture book that describes it. There's a number of good books on the subject. One that seems to be most widely recommended and is the #1 seller on Amazon is called It's Not the Stork. And the parent continues by saying, "I'll put it in your room, and you can look at it whenever you want. And if any kids tell you something different about how babies are born, why don't you ask me about it? I'm a grown-up, and I just might know a little more about that than a second grader does." The next dialogue, and by the way, I kind of apologize. These are a little simplistic, but in the interest of time, and there's so many variations this could take, I'm just trying to provide the basics here. This next dialogue is when your son or daughter has their first serious romantic partner. The parent starts by saying, "You've been spending a lot of time with Jeremy. So, you don't like him?" I do. I'm just wondering if this is a good time to talk about, well, sexual intimacy." "We're not doing it, if that's what you mean." "Yes, Mom, I'm still a virgin." "Well, what are your thoughts about your virginity?" "I don't know." "You want to know my thoughts on it?" "I guess. I couldn't get you to stop you from doing it even if I wanted to." I know I sound old-fashioned and maybe even sexist, but generally, when girls lose their virginity, it means a lot psychologically. And I know you. You're a person who feels things deeply. Intercourse, especially for the first time, can make you really want to remain close to the guy. For many, although not all boys, it doesn't necessarily mean all that. What's your reaction to what I just said? It makes sense. Jeremy'd like to, but he's not really putting much pressure on me. What do you want to do? I'm not sure I'm ready yet. I can't help but admit that I'm relieved. There may always be some mixed feelings about the first time, but the time's probably right when at least most of you thinks it's right. What do you think? How will I know? It's tough to say, but I'd be pleased if at any point you want to chat more with me about it, whether it's about intercourse or anything else, like, for example, birth control, about which, pardon the pun, there are a lot of misconceptions. Anyway, I want to mention that many teenagers at this point, or another point in the conversation, is going to say they don't want to talk about it. It's usually wise to not push it, and instead just say something like, "I understand it's a difficult topic, just know that I'm always here if and when you want to chat. I went through these issues myself." Okay, the next dialogue is if you think your child might be homosexual. In this scenario, a parent has long sensed that his or her child might be homosexual, but now, as a teenager, in the last few months there have been stronger signs. The parent waits for a quiet time, private time, in which both the parent and the teen are in a good mood. And the parent starts by saying, "You have a few minutes? I want to demonstrate what a liberal parent I am." And note the kind of playful tone is important, I think. The child says, "Yeah, you want me to join a commune?" The parent continues with the playfulness, "Not this week. I noticed over the past few months you've hung up 3 pictures of gay icons, and today you came home with one ear pierced. I'm not saying you're gay or that you're not, but liberal parents are supposed to encourage an honest discussion with their kids about sexuality. Is there anything you want to talk about?" "Not really." The parent waits. And then finally, if my friend thought he might be gay, what would you say to him? Well, I'd say something like, we're all on a continuum from purely straight to purely gay, and that can be fluid, changing over time. You want to tell me what you're feeling these days? You're pretty hip, aren't you? Is it better to be straight or gay? Well, most educated people have become far more accepting of LGBTs, but some people still are uncomfortable with the concept. How comfortable are you with the concept? Well, it still is easier on average to be straight, and because I love you, I prefer things to be easier. But if you're gay, I would of course support you, even if it meant I couldn't be a grandma. Mom, gays adopt. They get surrogate mothers. Well, you've thought about this a bit. I got to go do my homework. The parents, I'm here, and if and when you want to talk, you know I love you no matter what. Okay. And the final of these dialogues is when the daughter is pregnant. In this scenario, she's a high school senior and just told her mom she's pregnant. And I've chosen to make the parent the mother in this scenario because such a conversation would more likely be mother-daughter. But that's not to imply that her dad couldn't be involved, even be the parent who the daughter first wanted to discuss this with. The parent starts and says, as they'd say, how are you feeling about it? I don't know. Excited. Scared. Do you know if you want to have it? It would be stupid of me to have a baby now, but what do you think is the reason for your ambivalence? How can I kill a baby? I know it's not really a baby at this point, but it's a hard decision. Plus, it's scary to have an abortion. Of course, it's even scarier to have a baby. How far along are you? About 2 months. What should I do? Well, whatever decision you make, we'll support it. But what would you do? Well, when I was about your age, let's just say I wasn't always the most careful. So I thought about what I would do if I did get pregnant. I thought, to be honest, first for selfish reasons, that I didn't want to disrupt my life. But also from the child's perspective. I always knew I'd want one child, and felt the child would have a better life if I had it when I was more mature, had more money to provide a decent life, and had a man who'd be a good co-parent. Can I be really honest, Mom? I'm not even sure who the father is. And no, I don't want to try to figure it out. Mom, this is overwhelming. I'm going to Planned Parenthood. I'm getting an abortion. Mom, will you come with me? Of course, but when you're overwhelmed, it may not be the best time to make an important decision. You want to take a few days to think about it? I guess. And the mom hugs the kid. Okay. Well, standard communication advice is obviously particularly important in matters of sex. You need to listen well, take cues from your son or daughter, and defer or forego giving advice. Those principles of communication are also important in a parent-child discussion about drugs or alcohol. And that is the next installment in this series of what I call doables. I plan to post it tomorrow, both on Psychology Today and do a video on it. And the final installment, I may do that today, the video. I probably can post that tonight. The final installment, the one after that, is going to be on helping your child prepare for college or another post-high school option like apprenticeships. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko. I appreciate your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down, your comments. You're hitting the share button to share it on your social media and or subscribing to my channel. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko.